Hello students, welcome back to my 10 minutes math channel. This is teacher Brenda here, and today we would look into part 8 of the topic time, and we are going to explore time conversions intermediate level, which means that it's a little bit more than what you have learned in the previous session. So again, these units that you see on the screen, these are the units of time, and each of them have a connection with one another. Now, today's lesson, we would explore how the days are connected to the months. Now, in the previous lesson, you have been taught that 7 days makes up 1 week, 4 weeks makes up 1 month, 12 months makes up 1 year. Now, this is what you have been taught. Now, today, this lesson makes a jump, okay? It shows you that days can also be converted into months, okay? For example, 30 days will make up 1 month, and that's a new number for you there. That's a new jump. That's a new connection, okay? It's like a bridge, all right? You can also draw a bridge from days, okay, to the unit of years, in which your conversion now will become 365 days to be equivalent to 1 year. So what we are doing previously was we made small bridges between one another. But in this section, we are going to explore these big and long jumps. So we have got new conversions coming here, which is 30 days is equivalent to 1 month. 365 days is equivalent to 1 year. And most of you may not be very familiar with this. The fact that even weeks can be converted not just to months, but weeks can also be converted to years. How many weeks are there in a year? There are 52 weeks. Okay, you may not be familiar with this number, but it's time to get used to it. 52. Okay, if you took out your calendar, every week you calculated from 1st January, the week, say it starts on Monday. So you just count how many Mondays are there. You will find that you'll have 52 Mondays, okay, in that whole 1 year. So this is an important number. Now, from this understanding, we can now start to do our conversions. So let's move on to the next slide and we'll see what are our questions for today. Now over here, as you can see, I've taken out all the small bridges and I'm now concentrating on those large jumps, okay? There are 3 conversions here, okay, that we have to do. The first one is from days, okay, from days to months, all right? So they're asking here, the question is 100 days is equivalent to how many months and how many days? Now, if 30 days, okay, were to make 1 month, so then you know times table 30, then 60 days will make 2 months, 90 days will make 3 months, and that will already tell you you're almost close to 100, okay? So you'd have 3 months already, and there is a difference of still another 10 days. You could do this, you can solve this question like this, or you could also take 100 and divide by 30, just like how we have done for the previous questions. So over here, okay, let's do. So it will be times table 30. So 3 times 30 would be 90, okay? And then 100 minus 90, then you'll have a remainder of 10 days. So you'll have 3 full months and 10 days left as remainder. Now, on the other hand, what if the question asked you, how many days are there in 1/3 of a month? Now, this one looks, or it pops its head into the topic of fraction. It links up with the topic of fractions. 1/3 is a fraction. So now I'm going to ask you, if this is a fraction, we have learned fractions before, and this is 1/3, okay, this is a rectangle, a bar, and this is 1/3, okay, and I wanted to know how many days are there in 1/3 of a month. In 1 month, there are 30 days. So which means this whole thing here, okay, this is 1 month, you'll have 30 days. This is 1/3. What am I doing? I am taking my 30 days and dividing it into 3 parts. So every part would actually have 10 days. So 1/3 is actually 10 days. Another method of doing this is to simply take 1/3, 1/3, and multiply it with your magic number, with your conversion number, which is multiply it with 30. So then this, you will divide this off and this will become 1 and this will become 10. So here you will have your answer, 10 days. Okay, so let's look into the second question here, or the second bridge here that we are jumping is between weeks and years. First of all, you must always note the conversion. What are they converting? What units are we looking at? So here we have weeks, okay, and we are converting it into years. And as I told you previously, in 1 year, there are 52 weeks. Now, 104 weeks is how many years? That's what the question is asking. Okay, if you have 104 weeks, how many years would that be? Now, we can do a simple division. Take 104, okay, and divide by 52. For those who know table 52, or actually you can actually see a pattern here. If you doubled up 52, you would get 104, which means you got 104, okay, is actually double of 52. How do you know that? You take 52 plus 52, what do you get? 104, right? So this is 2 times and this is 1, which means 104 weeks means you have 2 years. Makes sense, right? If 52 weeks is 1 year, then 2 years must be 2 times 52, which is 104. Now, look at the next question down here, and it's asking us, half a year is how many weeks? So again, I'm going to use the drawing method here. Okay, this is 1 year, okay, and it has 52 weeks. Okay, this is 1 year and it has 52 weeks. And I'm going to ask how much is half. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take 52 and divide into 2. And if you do this, you would get 26. Each part would be 26. So that's half. Half the year is 26 weeks. Another way of doing this, if you don't want to draw, is to simply take half and multiply it with 52, like what we have been doing, 52 weeks. And you would get, when you divide this, you see, eventually you're still going to do a division. You'll get 26 and your answer will be 26 weeks. So that's how you solve these conversions. Intermediate, slightly a bit more difficult because we have these bigger jumps, you know, bigger bridges, longer bridges. And we also look into a little bit of fractions, okay? So I'm clearing the drawing and we're looking into the third question here, which is the jump between days and year. So over here from days, 365 days, and I will make 1 year, okay? So how many years are there in 730 days? Now, if you look carefully, 365, 730, you know, common sense. Why don't you just give it a try? 365, 365, what if it's 2 years? Okay, just see. So 12 and then here 13. Voila, we are right. We are in luck. So 730 days means you have 2 years. Now you could do this by taking 730 divide by 365, which is a huge times table. But again, you start by dividing by 5, you know, divide by 5, divide by 5, divide by 5. But if you had a good sense of numbers, you could understand that 300 and 300 is somewhere 600. 65 and 65 is going to give me another 130. So 730 is made up of 600 plus 130, and that's about 2 years. You make a guess and you work out your calculation to see whether it's right or wrong. Okay, Now, the last question here is 1/5 of a year is how many days? So using the drawing method, okay, you could use that, draw a rectangle and say this is 365 days. This is 1 year. Okay, and I want to find 1/5 of the year. So I'm going to divide it into 5 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you do the calculation, 365 divide by 5. Work out the standard written method. So this would be 7 times 5, 35. Okay, 36 minus 35, 1, and bring down your 5, and then here would be 3. So you will have no remainders here. Okay, and you would have 73 days, 73 days, 73 days. Each 73 is 1/5. So if the question asks you 2/5, you take 73 times 2. If the question asks you for 3/5, you take 73 times 3. So over here, the question is only asking for 1/5 of the year, which means it's 73 days. Of course, the other method is you take 1/5 and multiply by 365. If you realize you're pretty much doing the same thing, the same operation again, you are taking 365 and dividing it by 5. That's what you did. Can you see that? So the same thing, 365 divided by 5, and you will get 73 days. It's just two ways of understanding it. Either you can understand it using the drawing method, or you can understand it as just multiplying it. Sometimes this is a little easy. Sometimes this may help you to understand what's actually happening. Okay, 1 year, I divide into 5 parts. That's how I get 1/5. Okay, it makes sense to have something lesser than 365. Imagine your answer was 730. That doesn't make sense. How can 1/5 of a year be less than 365? So sometimes in maths, not sometimes, a lot of times in maths, you have got to check the sensibility of your answers. Okay, does your answer make sense? If you wrote here 730 days is 1/5 of a year, 1/5 is less than 1. That's what you learn. 1/5 is a fraction. It's a proper fraction. Proper fraction means it is less than 1. If I were to draw 1/5, this is much. This much is 1/5. How can this be more than a year? So always question and look at your answers. All right. So with that, I end this session, okay, which is intermediate for time conversions. And I will see you in my next lesson. Till then, stay safe. And if you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe. Okay, take care, guys. See you all then. Bye.